challenge on ensuring sustainable business by earning the respect of society. To just put things in perspective, estimates say that by 2050 our population is going to go up to 9 billion people. And for businesses that's great news, because that's that many more people to whom we can sell our cars, our television sets, our bottle of Coke. But the bad news is that shrinking resources will actually limit the ability of those 9 billion people to live well, and unless these challenges are addressed, and especially the development needs of people, the education and the economic empowerment. And hence, if we look it down now, if we come down to the country level, today in India we live back to back in the 17th and the 21st century. We see it all around us time and again. However, we are absolutely pleased when we hear people touting 8% growth. We feel still more happy with ourselves when the Western world calls us the future supreme power. But to me, I think we are in a trap. If we don't come out of this quickly and quickly bring people still living in the 17th century to the modern day reality, I think it is a big trap. And therefore, we need to look at it in a much more practical and a pragmatic fashion. So, with that as a background, let's narrow down on what the role companies would need to play in that situation, and contribute to the respect pillar of the framework. In India, we have no dearth of laws, and so there is a protection of human rights, labor policies, and we always kind of focus on everything which is ring-fenced within our factory gates. However, there is a little more to look at, because this is all what comes back to haunt corporates, and we see, everyday real life example comes up, especially when in manufacturing units, mining, extraction companies, etc., the kind of problems they face with their projects. So we need to look beyond compliance, and we definitely need to look beyond our factory gates. And coming to that, there is another piece of statistics which say that in India, an estimated 92% of the workforce is with the unorganized sector. This means that a measly 8% has the luxury of the protection under the human rights laws and under various other kind of rules and protection against any human right violation. But the large part of this overwhelming 92% of the people are really feeding into the supply chains of the corporates. And this is where, both in upstream as well as downstream supply chains, and this is where we feel that companies can play a very positive role. And beyond the usual CSR, and here I'm really not talking about building a school or building a road or something, not trivializing any of the work that people are doing, but let's take it one step ahead. And therefore, we have to look at the larger context. We have to see how we can bring people